Wigged Out. I'm Michael, and it has been eons. And I am here today to review Sarah in the color FS17/101S18, Palm Springs Blonde. I don't know why I waited forever to actually get a Sarah. I've had a Rachel for what seems like ages. I have a year-old one that I will do. I'll be doing a comparison video of Sarah and Rachel after I do the review of Sarah, so be looking forward to that video. I also have a Rachel that I have straightened. She's a newer one, so I'll show you guys just to give you guys an idea of like what you can actually do to your wigs if you're bored with them. All right, so without further ado, let me show you Sarah. So I know some of you really like to see the boxes. So here's the box that Sarah comes in. She is in the Smart Lace collection. She's a lace front, monofilament top, all hand tied, just like Rachel, for those out there that have Rachel. And this is the box. This is the tag, if it will just show up for you guys. Alrighty, so let me just grab Sarah. I always keep all my wigs on wig stands when I'm doing reviews. Here you guys go. Does this look familiar to you? This looks just like Sarah. I mean, just like Sarah. Oh yeah, this is Sarah. This looks just like Rachel, with more length and no bangs. And like I said to you guys, she is all hand tied. She has a monofilament top. Now I did take and put a little concealer in the part, which gives it a little bit more realism, mainly because, as you guys can see, my hair is kind of, wow, it's growing back. I have a goal to grow it out as long as Sarah at some point. But here is the lace front. And as you guys can see, this is temple to temple in true temple to temple fashion. There is not very much of an ear tab on this wig. It has the monotop and the hand-tied section, as well as the stretch section, so you get a lot of flexibility with this cap, and the velcro adjusters. Now, as you guys can see, I really like Palm Springs Blonde, which is described to be like a light ash blonde with pure white violet tones. So what violet tone means is that it's not going to have a golden hue to it, but violet tones with a dark ash blonde root. Now, I love this color, but I'm going to warn, like, for those people out there that don't like the ashy, this color, I don't know if you're catching it on here, but it has a tendency to be a little bit greenish in the wrong lighting situations. That is just, unfortunately, part of the nature of this. Now, let me just throw her on. Let me see if I can get all my hair underneath of this. It's been a minute since I haven't been wearing a lot of wigs lately. It's just easier at Amazon to not be wearing wigs. Get this thing on right. As you guys can see, Sarah is a lot of hair, but don't be afraid of her. You can get her to calm down relatively quickly. Okay, you guys. So, as you guys know, I have I have a lot of hair around my sideburns, so I don't get the best coverage, but I do get, as you guys can see, I get pretty good coverage. The lace front is impeccable, and I like how they did not put a lot of the light hairs in the front. I know that a lot of people like that. I do in some wigs, other ones not so much. So I had a question when I first put this on, and I had posted it on the internet, and somebody asked me, how did you get her to look so tame? Water. I usually don't put a lot of stuff on my wigs. As you guys can see, I do have the Beauty Mark products, and your trusty Got to Be Glued spray. That is the one thing that I have to tell everybody. Even if you don't glue your wigs down, Got to Be Glued spray has so many uses. I spray it on my natural hair to keep my wig from actually slipping around, but I just give her a little wet, and then I just run my fingers through her. I tend not to brush my curly synthetics. I have found that if you are somebody who does, the one thing that drives me crazy about synthetics most of the time is those little tension spirals, and you're more likely to get them on a style like this. That's why I tend to use my hands. Another little trick about synthetic styles. See, guys, that just calmed her right down. I have her in a center part, but you can wear her in any which direction you want. And I don't know why I waited so long. I really don't. What do you guys think? Should I get, I am obsessed with Sarah, so I am more than likely probably going to be, there's another Sarah in my future. I can totally see that happening. So as you guys know, I kind of have been MIA lately. I started a new job, so I've been like overwhelmed with that. Just want to point out while I'm talking, this is a really great ear tuck. You can do an ear tuck with this wig. And updos. I mean, with the length on this wig, you can wear her any which way. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I've been overwhelmed with work. I've been overwhelmed with life in general. I mean, they say history repeats itself, and lately it seems like all of the 20th century is repeating itself in the last 2 years. But I'm trying to make a joke about it, because at this point I just can't. I can't believe, between the pandemic and those poor people in the Ukraine that are trying to escape for their lives because of Russia. I mean, I won't go into that. I'm not going to do that today. But this is Palm Springs Blonde. I love it. Palm Springs Blonde is one of the colors that I do not have very much experience with. I think this is like the first. I did have a Parker by Jon Renau in this color, but it does look a little bit different. So if you don't like it on one style, you should always try a color on a different style, because you never know. It might look completely different. And in this case, I didn't like it on Parker, but I love it on this. So Sarah got a 15-inch bang, so I don't really consider that bang. We're just going to call that the front. So Sarah has a 15-inch bang. She has a 17-inch crown. Her nape is 12.5 inches, so she has a long nape, and her sides are 15. So as you can tell, the biggest difference, because I know somebody, in the comments is going to say, well, what's the difference between Sarah and Rachel? The biggest difference for me is that Rachel has bangs, Sarah does not. And Rachel is slightly shorter, and she's a little bit more layered on the sides. Density-wise, I don't think there's a difference between the two wigs. They seem pretty much the same density to me, which could be very overwhelming to some people. I know when I first started out my wig journey, this much hair would have bothered me. At this point, I love it. I love this much hair. But back to what I was saying, Rachel and Sarah, it's all about preference. I do think Rachel tends to look a little bit more dated sometimes, because of the bangs, whereas Sarah just looks more timeless to me. She's all one length for the most part. She's gorgeous. So let me just give you guys a front, and then I'll do the sides. And she's gorgeous, guys. Let me show you guys the back. She's absolutely, probably, the wave pattern on this is just, I've worn straightened like hair, and it just doesn't do as much for me. But you guys are catching the glimpse of her in the mirror, aren't you? Look at that. That is what she looks like. Just a luscious, full, thick, long head of hair. Dream hair. I've been dreaming about her for a long time. I'm so glad that I finally got to try her out. Alright guys, so I know it's been forever. I promise you guys that I will make more videos in the future, and be keeping an eye out for that Rachel and Sarah comparison. Alright guys, so this has been another episode of Wigged Out, and I want to thank all of my subscribers who've stuck with me through this social media blackout that I've been in. and I'm just happy to be back. So until next time, guys, bye.